We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Hi everybody, this is LA Talk Live, the Dawn Christie Show. Hi everybody, how are you, Johnny?
Hey, good. How about you, Dawn?
I'm excited today, everyone. I've got a great show for all of you. We have a legend on our hands here on the show today named Carrie Tagawa. Hi, Carrie.
Aloha, Don. How are you?
Yay!
Welcome, John. Thank you, man.
This man, as we all know, is fantastic, and you are rolling with so many new things that you're going to be doing, and we want to know all about that. But how did you get into acting, my darling?
I escaped from healing.
You escaped from oh, you escaped from healing?
Yeah, I think I may be in it, and I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong here, but I may be one of the only healers that ever attempted to step into Hollywood. I had an experience in healing where it was beyond my comprehension. I had never experienced the power of the work that I was doing, breath work, breathing, and it scared me. I felt it was beyond my ability to really understand it. A woman who had lymphatic cancer and emphysema, and we did some breathing, and she came to life, and I just knew if that was the effect of the work that I was doing, that I was going to run into some resistance up ahead if I kept doing it. So I decided this might be a good time to take a break and kind of digest it, and that's how I ended up in Hollywood, actually.
Wow. I need it louder, everyone. Okay. Excuse me, everyone. There we go. Oh, okay. So I can hear you. So you're saying that the breath and learning the gift that you have and trying to teach people how to breathing, it got you into film, into acting, because
film and acting had a basis in my subconscious. Certainly my mother was an actress, and at 8 years old she took me to a movie that there were no other kids in. It was called Some Came Running with Shirley MacLaine. That was her first film in which she won the Academy Award.
Wow.
And it was not a kid kind of story, but I went with her, and afterwards she gave me a review of the actors' performances. And at 8 years old, oddly enough, I had a sense of what not only she was saying, but from each actor what the difference was. And I thought, this is a cool job. Someday I'd like to be an actor. And
working with you, for many years, I saw a very special, gifted soul that a lot of people want to get in Hollywood. A lot of people want to be actors, actresses, or whatever. And God had a calling for you, and with the roles, so many, many, many roles you have played that have given so many people inspiration. I know in the beginning, I think you played bad guys, but I know deep within, and I saw that you'd be playing good roles, which I know is what you want to do, but I know you've given so many people inspiration, children, adults, everybody. Mortal Kombat, Pearl Harbor, I mean, so many.
The Rising Sun. That was an awesome movie Carrie was in.
Yeah, thanks.
How was that playing?
It was amazing. That one in particular was probably the the most calm set I've ever worked on.
Was
You
that
know,
part of your breathing, you think?
well, it was partly that, but also the tone that the director said. It's always about the director, certainly, and everyone sort of falls into whoever he is and whatever he's about. And he was just such a calm guy. And at times it was so quiet. If people were whispering, you could hear them. And so
Wow.
it was an amazing experience. Certainly, to play a Japanese playboy is kind of like playing an alien from another planet. And never again has Hollywood seen the likes of a Japanese playboy. I happen not to be one, but I hung out with a lot of Japanese playboys in my day, and we cruised around in Ferraris and were hanging out with models. So I did have a frame of reference, and to have played so many bad guys before that, just to be able to smile and dance and sing and eat sushi and things like that.
You did that on one. I'll never forget that one in my life. Seeing that film while you're eating sushi on a beautiful woman's body.
Yeah, that was.
That was hard work, wasn't it?
It was hard to do.
Hard.
We had to keep doing it over and over again. I understand.
Oh, lucky man.
Maybe Carrie would mess up at the end and get another take.
Well,
oops, I dropped my stick.
No. Oh.
Well, I didn't have to because the sushi was not from a sushi bar. It was made by one of the special effects. The head of special effects, his wife had made them, and she didn't learn how to use vinegar and stuff to keep the rice a little bit sticky so it didn't fall apart. So every time I'd pick one up, the whole thing would fall apart.
Oh my God.
So I really had to work something out.
You always work things out.
Yes.
But there's so many, many, many films that I still see spiritually with the gift I have that there's not one role you can't play. I mean, you play everything, and it looks so natural. It just comes from your soul. Don't you think it does?
Absolutely. And for actors out there, it does make a difference between actors' performances that have lived real life and really experienced life from that soul kind of level. I was raised in the South, in Louisiana, Texas, North Carolina in the 50s. My father was from Hawaii, was a lifer in the U.S. Army, so certainly we had a little bit different experience than just living in public, where it was what it was in the 1950s in the South. But so we had a little bit of protectiveness, but I understood what was going on. And I also, with half the population of the U.S. military from the South at the time, certainly to be Japanese in 1955 was not real popular. So
but you did it.
I did it, and I'll keep this short, but in 6 seconds, at 6 years old, I had to make a quick decision after experiencing this and not ever knowing what that meant in Japan. I had 6 seconds to decide whether I was going to roll over and die or I was going to stand up and fight. And so certainly I stood up, but even at 6, I realized fighting wasn't the answer. I knew if you were fighting, you'd have to keep on fighting forever. So I just created a formula in which I could win without fighting, and that's kind of what I've been doing my whole life.
Even though you're known as a heavy-duty warrior, I see you as a peaceful warrior.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, that is the heavier duty.
Absolutely. Keep all that in.
The ever-ready kind of Duracell battery. And certainly it's paid off in the longevity of my career.
But I see your career right now booming. And there's a lot of things, a lot of projects, and a lot of things going on. Could you let the audience know?
Sure. Number one, just in priority, I believe in the sort of new explosive, and it's definitely explosive, is Return to the Mortal Kombat franchise. After 18 years. Yeah, so
I knew you right then.
We just got into the webisode, the second season, called Legacy, and it blew me away, the response of fans.
That's exciting for you to go back into You know, that is exciting. We get
Wow.
another Mortal Kombat. Yay!
Well, and so this is the webisode version, and there is a third feature on the way.
Wow.
And we're talking very seriously about doing that. Yeah, just to have kind of put my mind back into that mindset for the webisode even was quite interesting because I've lived so long at the legacy of it and always repeating lines for kids and fans and so to actually come back and
do it again and do
Yeah.
it. Wow.
and now to move forward, it's really going to be a jumping off point. Besides that, now I've been doing some episodes of Revenge on ABC. Again, quite appropriate.
And what time is that when everybody can watch?
I wish I could tell you, and I hate to admit this. I'm sorry you asked me that question because
Uh-oh.
it's been moving around since I haven't watched it, and so the producers don't mind hearing this, or they could.
Okay, it's 8. Say it again. It's ABC.
ABC, and it was 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, and I heard
It's
that
called Revenge.
Revenge.
The Revenge.
No, just Revenge
Oh,
on its own.
Okay,
The word.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
I'm in the midst of doing 3 in a row, which is
Excellent.
which has not been the case this season, but that's another piece that's happening, and I'm getting ready to sort of fulfill the legacy and promise that I made when I started in Hollywood, was that if I reached any kind of level of notoriety, that I'd bring the attention back to the healing. So through the internet,
That is so beautiful.
and downloads and websites. And
I see you such a spiritual man anyway. I love you to pieces. I always have. You're real, and, there hasn't been really any ego, and you're not pretentious. You're just beautiful. I see it. And another thing I see, I have to, I'm smelling something else.
She has
Hold on.
to do it. She has to do
I'm smelling something else. It's burning here. I really feel you are in a very intense, brand new spiritual love soulmate. Is that true?
How did you know that?
Give me a break.
Okay.
I never will give you a break, Carrie.
I understand. The
Never.
answer is
Never.
unequivocally yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Without any
And
hesitation.
you look very happy.
I'm so happy I'm about to float off.
Oh my God.
It's
Congratulations
well, thank you.
to the woman
Happy
that
for
could
you.
make this man full and happy and content. You are a blessing and a warrior goddess.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Wow.
Nothing short could keep my attention this long.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I have attention. I have short span, but this has now been 3 years, and
Wow.
it feels like another 30 more, 60 more. Something like that.
So that means he doesn't want anybody else.
That's true.
So, my darling, pull this in. Pull it in, honey. You are a champion.
It's so amazing. Whether she, excuse me, had shared what she had, I mean, just who she is as a person without me even, just totally hypnotized me from the beginning. And it's really about her level and depth.
And her love of herself, probably, and the depth of loving you.
And you would think that, a love of herself, but that's something that we both have kind of worked through together, coming from low self-esteem, which
is hard to believe because looking at you, nobody would ever think that there was a low self-esteem in you.
Well,
ever.
The positive side of it was that it kept me really humble and unpretentious, and really just staying focused on spirit and soul and doing,
and God.
And God. I thought
God is it.
That meant the same thing.
Yeah, it does.
But
I just want to say God.
Sure, absolutely.
My problem.
And so I've just stayed focused on that and nothing else really. And,
Wow.
You know what was amazing, Don? Back the late 80s, I met Carrie at Gold's Gym's Venice Beach.
Before me.
And he was an amazing guy. He would come in and he would have the special walk, like he was different. He was different. But you know what? So,
He's different.
and I would say hi. But what was amazing is one of my clients way back then gave me a birthday present and said, oh, "Come to my house," and she wouldn't tell me. And all of a sudden, here comes Carrie walking up with these water bottles. Okay. And my birthday present was an hour with Carrie
Wow.
with posture breathing. You were doing the breathing back then, having me
yeah.
like breathe and blow. I'm like, whoa, this is tough. This is really tough to go through this, right? He was doing it back then. This is the late 80s.
Yeah.
He was doing the breathing. Amazing.
Yeah, it started a little bit before that, but it's now going on 36 years. So it's been all discovery. This is one thing that I encourage anybody that has inspiration about any kind of work, but especially in healing. It's not about what you absorb from other people and their systems. I was always being told, well, you should check this out, you should do this, and I'd say, thank you very much, and I would never do it. And the whole thing was to absolutely devote my attention to the God within and let that teach me rather than look at what someone else has done. And it really has paid off. Finally, after all this time and being in love for the first time, knowing what love is one thing.
Then if you just found that out,
Yes,
then you have a lot more to give.
that is true. Well, I never put that together.
We have more. Wow, she is lucky. Okay. She got it all, dang it. No, she got it all. Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's as if I thought I was full, although I haven't been. I kept telling you I was. At least
And I said, not.
at least my focus on what I conceived to be my mission. And that always came before me. And that's why that kind of low self-esteem, I didn't spend time on esteem. I just kept going on this system, thinking that eventually it could become my esteem, depending on the results of it. And wrong again. And so at this moment, before I'm just about to bring this to the world, I've just been so
Wrapped in
fortunate.
so many other things, too, in your
other
projects.
things. Yeah, but at this moment with this new love, it's 3 years old, but
But it seems like it gets new all the time, no?
yeah,
It renews
it
itself.
is. And that's it. There's, especially in this moment, kind of the in the moment, separate from anything else, it is ever expanding. Unbelievable in my history of relationships.
Do you feel it's all about time?
It is in one sense. Certainly when you're thinking about time as linear, you were this age or that age, and somehow it's timeless in that it feels so natural. It kind of feels like all the work I've been doing on this timeline, that I was real clear. What was the moment? The moment of struggle. We're going to get there. We're going to keep working on it. But in this moment, it feels like the timeline disappeared and there's nothing from the past. And the future will take care of itself if I just stay right here.
That means accept yourself.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Unconditional surrender.
To yourself.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
That was always the scariest part. Surrender, especially for warrior mentality. It's like surrender. No.
And it shows that in all your
That was
films.
good.
It shows that all those intensity moments, and everybody's like, dang, I'd be afraid to meet that guy, Like,
Never.
you come off really tough and real and like, just like a warrior.
He never laid down the sword, did he?
No, I saw one time he took a sword and took off that dress in a second. And then when I met you and I remember that film, I went, oh my God, I'm scared of this man. I'm not really afraid of anything, but I remember that sword and what you did to that girl.
So moving right along, I would like to say the intensity that I do use to play those roles comes from an intensity of commitment to the work. And it's certainly comes out in the powerful way that it does because the role calls on it. But at the same time, I've also played in a Disney movie called Johnny Tsunami. I played a surfing grandfather. It was probably the exact most polar opposite role for me, and I felt the most comfortable in that.
I want to
So,
ask you that, like, what's your
yeah,
favorite? Because you played so many roles.
yeah.
What is your favorite?
That is actually
Wow.
Johnny Tsunami playing the grandfather, the last
The wise
warrior.
man? Was he
Yeah, he was a Hawaii local boy kind of wise man, which is absolutely
absolute?
charming and and wonderful and unpretentious and all those good things about being human. Certainly, that's my favorite. Last Warrior was among the most favorite because that was my first starring role, and it also gave me an opportunity after all the racism that I encountered and being constantly reminded about being Japanese. I got to play a Japanese and
Wow.
being given the opportunity to play that role and portray it in a way that I believed was from the true essence of what that warriorhood was about, and not like some Asian American actor who was raised in America and tried to play the stereotype. It just meant so much to me to be given that opportunity. So that was certainly among the favorite. Rising Sun, I mean, Japanese playboy, never again to be seen on a Hollywood screen.
I think being
Not
Asian is, and people looking at Asian is so wise and wisdom. I think that, you Asians might think that Americans are stereotyped, but I know so many people that say, oh, they teach us honor.
That is absolutely at the
We're so
core of
honored to
me.
know Asians. Wish we had that background.
Some of my best friends are Asian. No,
So are
just
mine.
kidding. I'm just joking. No, but I think for Asia at the moment, it's definitely in distress. Certainly with the Japanese situation with the radiation. North Korea,
Right.
who happened to say preemptive, is like, we only use that kind of word. What are they doing using that kind of?
Right.
I thought it was a perfect moment in which we start to look at ourselves a little bit more, and certainly your work is about helping people to do that. I think it's time we just take a break, reflect deep and long, accept that we're not perfect. We have things we can work with, and certainly your work, my work, breath work. It's is everything about
Being the best you can be.
being the best you can be without joining the U.S. Army. So it's another
We're not doing that.
point. No, you know what? I was raised in the military, so I have great respect for the military, and I have the greatest compassion for the soldiers who have gone, especially the ones that come back disabled or the ones that didn't come back. In fact, part of this breath work is going to be devoted to working with vets.
Awesome.
I want to raise.
Yeah.
That is beautiful
That's
that you're
great.
dedicating, your time and your love for them.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, I was raised, by a lifer, and he told me, one thing, son, do not join the military because when they need you, and when they don't remember who you are. And I thought that's
Sucks.
makes sense. And so at this moment, I don't want them to be forgotten, and really give them inspiration. In fact, this breathing goes beyond inspiration. It really works on the physical in a way, no matter what, as long as you're breathing, you got a place in my class and a great place to progress from. It's something that we certainly all need.
Do you know where you're going to hold your classes, or where
Ye-
someone can get in touch with you
Yeah,
to take your classes?
my website, so you can get a
Your website
yeah,
is?
KerryHiroyukiTagawa.com. Thank you to Deidre. Thank you to
Yay.
Deidre for putting it together, and they can email me there. It's just in the works of setting up the whole site, e-commerce, and then downloads and all that. I got one thing I'd like to announce on your show.
Okay.
The first download, he said, as not to make it too esoteric and not too unapproachable. It's how to retie your shoes, like all those Nikes and Reeboks and all those kind of wonderful shoes, in a way that your foot can move more freely. And by doing that, it applies from athletes to people that are simply standing on their feet all day, and especially film crews. I've done this on film crews. Every time we're
They
in
thank
rush
you,
hour,
too.
can I see your shoes for and retied it and absolutely makes the foot more relaxed and not be so strained at the end of the day. And for athletes, they move better. So it's really coming as the point guard download or mobile app to begin a re-perceiving of our bodies. I think a lot of our healthcare problems come from not really knowing our bodies and kind of giving power to
And how to
everybody else.
breathe and all
how to
the
breathe,
toxins
exactly.
that mentally people put in their head.
Exactly.
It's disgusting. I mean, they get ill.
It absolutely is. And toxic thoughts are, representative of a toxic body, and breathing, the lungs are the largest detoxifying organ in the body. So the more you breathe, people, the more you're going to clear out those toxins and be able to think clear. It's our natural birthright to be divine.
Amen.
And hopefully this breathing system can be part of a movement toward that understanding.
I know that you have so many gifts. There's so many gifts in you and so many things you want to do in this world, and you have done a lot.
You're starting to sound like a publicist, though.
No, I hope not. I just admire your soul and what, I
appreciate
admire
it.
people that live their gifts.
I appreciate
I
it.
really do.
It's come at a cost, and I don't regret it. I'm always the kind of guy where if you tell me there's 1 in a million, I smile and I raise my hand. And if you tell me there's none in a million, then I tell you I'll make that the one, and then I'll take that one. So you got to really take me down to stop me. I'm a tiger.
That's for sure.
Animal, Chinese animal tiger, and we're unstoppable.
I've seen that and lived it knowing you. Well, it looks like you're going to have to go because I know you have another appointment. So I really want to thank you for being on the show today. And
Thank you.
Thank you,
it's been an
Carrie.
honor to have you
You bet.
and knowing you and you
Well,
live in
it's
God.
Back at you. It's been an honor and pleasure to know you, and just want your listeners to know that I met Dawn at the most critical point in my life up to that time, which was the death of my mother. And my mother and I were very close, and it was amazing the work that you did with me. I just want to thank you again.
Oh,
It was 91. It's been a long time, and we've been, in touch throughout the years, and never had a chance publicly to thank you for that. So
thank you.
thank you so much, and encourage everybody who's listening to partake of Dawn's gift. She's amazing, and I've watched her grow. She's at such a beautiful peak now, along with Johnny, her partner, and absolutely, it's a joy to be here. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And I wish you every dream, and you're living it, and we're going to watch you.
Can I come back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back. Okay.
I'm looking at an angel, and believe me when I say she got that whole place glowing. She got that whole place glowing. She got that whole place glowing, glowing, glowing. I'm looking at an angel, and believe me when I say she got that whole place glowing. She got that whole place glowing. She got that whole place glowing, and she's high in the sky singing. Way above the clouds in the sky singing. Way above the clouds in the sky singing. Way above the clouds in the sky singing.
Are you ready to enjoy the Maui lifestyle? You can have it all by owning real estate on the paradise island of Maui. Dennis Rush, a 22-year Maui resident and real estate broker, brings his wealth of experience and market knowledge to add value to your Maui real estate understanding, providing a level of service as unique and exceptional as the island of Maui itself. The magical island of Maui was voted the most exclusive resort island in the world by Condé Nast Traveler, and keep in mind, Maui is only a simple, non-stop flight away. Hawaii Business Magazine Top 100 Realtors awarded Dennis Rush the 2011 fourth top realtor on the island of Maui. Go to www.dennisrush.com to view all of the amazing properties currently available in the Maui MLS system. Whatever your needs or desires, Dennis Rush will provide a private consultation for any Maui properties your heart desires. You will be in good hands. Once again, go to www.dennisrush.com. That's www.dennisrush.com. Contact Dennis today to start your Maui lifestyle now. Dennis Rush, proud sponsors of the Dawn Christie Show and LA Talk Live.
If you surround yourself with negative people, you'll never feel settled in or become an equal, no. They'll suppress you of your spirit and rinse you dry of smiles. So reach deep and release your inner child, yeah, yeah. So stand up for the love, love, love. So stand up, yeah, for the love, love, love. So stand up, yeah, for the love, love, yeah. 'Cause you're as old as you really are, and if you don't reach for the moon, you can't follow the stars. So I live my life like every day is the last, last, last. 'Cause you're as old as you really are, and if you don't reach for the moon, you can't follow the stars. So I live my life like every day is the last, last, last. So stand up if you let to.
Hi, everyone. We're back with another special guest, and her name is Veronica. And I just,
Hi.
hi, honey bunny.
I
How
love
are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm very good, actually.
Yay. I am so proud of her. I did have her on the show before, and I just want, again, to do a review if people haven't seen the show, or the last shows, I mean. She came in for a reading. I met her, and God told her to do jewelry, a special jewelry. And I have seen this woman in a year magically, spiritually, by God, giving you the most incredible, it's not even luck, it's just success. And the clients that you have had that bought your jewelry is just over the top. And you just went to Paris and
Yeah,
been
that was amazing.
and
I love
invited.
Paris.
It's what you've been living. I'm telling you, is it's just a miracle. When you're on path and you accept the gift and you live right within, there is complete freedom. I want to hear all these people that have been buying your jewelry.
Well, since the last time I was here, there's
Wow.
definitely been, even like the momentum grew a lot since the last time. So that's why you invited me, because there's a lot more to talk about. But yeah, it's just seemed to accelerate, from, I have Jada Pinkett Smith, who's a fan, who wears my jewelry probably 3-4 times a week.
How did she get that?
She bought it. I mean, I found
Wow.
out that she ended up buying it. So so that's always nice to see, online and in the magazines. And then I had a cover of a magazine with Pink, which was very exciting as a jewelry designer to have your first cover. And
Excellent.
yeah, so there's been a lot to report since the last time I was here.
Absolutely.
And it's just been like good. The momentum is there. I'm still creating new pieces, but it's just been a lot of fun, and I just I'm just so happy with everything, and I'm putting my all into it. And I went to Paris for
But there were
work.
weren't there more celebrities that bought your
Yeah,
jewelry?
I mean, there's Christina Aguilera, there's
Wow.
Pink, there's
Was there a stylist that went to the store that you carry? And where can
That's
people get your
how-
jewelry?
Yeah, you can buy it at Rose Arc. They have 2 locations. They have one in West Hollywood, one in Santa Monica. I also sell at Broken in English. I just now, thanks to Paris, have a big contract or a big order with LuisaViaroma.com, which is kind of like a store
Wow.
in Florence, and they have
Congratulations.
this is really gonna
Skyrocket you.
hopefully,
Yeah,
because
but
they
you
have big designers like Stephen Webster. It's really gonna introduce me to a whole nother mainstream market with the kind of people they reach. I mean, just on Facebook alone, they have over 1 million followers. I mean, it's a really huge, it's like a Bergdorf of Italy. And for me, anything Italian is like fashionable. So just for that order, Paris was
but you do
amazing.
I'm just telling you, what amazes me is that individually you creatively and spiritually get all these beautiful ideas, and you just started out, you know what I mean? And to
Yeah.
have a lot of
I mean,
people are
you knew me
designers.
before I was
Oh
even
yeah,
really
but I knew you were
starting,
yeah, but
so
I know
it's,
God wanted you to do this.
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
And
you really helped me
yeah,
and being very firm with me
right.
about that when I was toying or in the beginning stages, but you told me that the doors will open when you're on the right path, and they definitely have been. So you were 100% right on with that. So yeah, it's been a
Okay,
long.
my love.
Johnny, we miss you.
Johnny, come back. We're coming back now, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. We're so excited with Veronica. We want to know more about Paris. And how was that? Because you've never been there before, and being offered to be in this huge, huge event is such an honor to be invited, and being a new artist. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. I mean, I had the best week. It was a great learning experience as far as the work and the jewelry. Paris is just Fashion Week during Paris is like nothing I have ever seen before. The fashion, it's not even just going to shows, it's like just on the street. Like I was so
Yeah.
inspired by all the fashionistas over there, because here we don't. It really made me want to become more fashionable in my own sense, because
It's a beauty. It's an art.
beautiful to look at.
It's art.
Literally 90%, I would say, were like coming straight out of Vogue. I mean, I was
Yeah.
like really,
It's incredible, Paris.
I loved it. And, the event was, from 10 o'clock to 8 p.m. every day. It was amazing. They had amazing designers with jewelry, and also they had like shoes, they had accessories, like all getting ready for next season. So it was really nice to meet all these creative people doing something they loved, just to meet. I met like so many friends too.
Good.
Like not only did I have an order as a business person, that was my number one goal, but I met really amazing people. So it was like the best week ever.
It's LA Fashion Week, and we've been going to all of the events and fashion. So
Really? You're having fun?
we're having fun.
Yeah.
It's been great, and people have been so nice. But we're gonna go back to you. There was a piece that we mentioned about you designed 2 wings. What was it? Is it like, what was the meaning behind that?
Well, I named this piece.
What inspired you?
Okay, this piece was one of the first ones I designed, and I think I have sent a picture. But anyway, it's 2 wings, angel wings with the stinger, which is my trademark. So it kind of has the sweet and the stinger is in there too. And originally, I was inspired because I was reading this autobiography of Ava Gardner,
Wow.
and I found her such a woman, like, I mean, she could have had, her affair with like Frank Sinatra, and how he like died for this girl. I mean, he could have had any girl he wanted, and he just died for her. And so
So was she the stinger?
No, she had both, because after reading the thing, I really liked her character and how it was like her essence. And so I wanted to create this piece of jewelry to represent the feeling I got from her. It's based on, it was inspired by her, but it represents women like her. You know what I mean? Like I want all women to feel like she drove every man crazy. She was so beautiful and she had such an amazing life story. So it was kind of like the angel and like the stinger, which is more,
It's pretty, yeah. It's
together.
symbolic in life,
Yeah.
right?
So it's not for her, but it's for women that are like her, or that, will wear it. But I named it. The name of the piece is Ava. So
Wow.
so I like, yeah.
And so that inspired you, but
yeah.
there's a few more that you've been working with, and I know that you're going to be designing even more.
Yeah, I mean, every piece has meaning for me. So it could be whatever I'm going through. I know it sounds kind of weird with jewelry that you can, put.
But that's why I like it,
story.
because there's a meaning and it's
There's
special
a
and it's spiritual.
meaning.
That's why I promote it, because
Yeah,
it's so unique.
it could be like a love story in a piece of jewelry. It can be a heartache in a piece of jewelry. It can be like, I try to put like a lot of feeling into it. I mean, it's jewelry, but still, like, people want to feel their jewelry means something. That's why they always want to engrave it, and that's what I try to do with my jewelry, that they feel the energy of the story of what they're wearing.
So what do you feel about love in life and men? Because you have so many symbolic things in your jewelry.
I feel at my age, which I'm still very young, that I've seen a lot.
Well, I think we all are. Excuse me.
We all are very young
I think
here.
all of us are here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been through some good
Stinger?
and bad stinger experiences, and good angel,
Yeah.
like the two together. And I think, you just get wiser every year. I'm still young. I'm only, early 30s, but you just learn a lot about, relationships
And yourself.
as the years go by, and it's just.
We just had a guest named Carrie, and at the very end, he said he has learned throughout his entire life. There's lessons, and there is lessons. Like,
Yeah.
he's now, for the first time, and we're not going to mention his age, that he's accepted himself through and accepted love in his life, and he's at the latter part of his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to live long. I do see that, but, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. No, it is.
Sometimes how people, will accept it in their life or won't accept it in their life, and why won't they accept it in their life, and
I think experiencing life, and
yourself.
I've always loved life, and I've experienced a lot of things. So.
But don't you think you've changed? Like, let's say the way you are right now, and then
Yes.
4 years ago, you're not the same.
Not
You don't think the
completely.
same. You don't want the same in
No,
a man.
I'm completely different.
Exactly,
and I've
which is
been
wisdom.
through, I just got divorced. I'm like going through, I've been through a lot, and I have had amazing good times, and I've had, some not so amazing times that
But
I've
it's
gone
made
through.
you.
But it's made me who I am,
Which is beautiful.
which is much better than, like you said, 4 years ago.
Yeah, you
That
are.
was not good.
When I tuned into you last, you are. God's very happy with you. You really are completely opened up like a butterfly, angelically, without the stinger, and where you're really flying with every role that's hit and with you, and is presented in your face. Okay, I'm going to take this on. I'm going to take that on, and I'm going to be very open and very positive and very selective. It's
Yeah.
great. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I know. So I
So are you. Look at her.
I am too, because it was no longer.
So is she. Thank
No,
God for
because
that.
I can say that to you because
Yeah, because you're
like,
accepting
me so
yourself.
well.
It's beautiful. You're accepting yourself. We love that.
I mean, just for you to say that you're proud of me makes me
I
feel
am.
so good because you
Thank
know
you.
so much about me.
Thank you.
So,
Well, through God, yes.
yeah.
And I don't let him wear any other jewelry, and he doesn't want to wear any other jewelry
I
but
know.
yours. And
Look
we
at that.
still have
He still has it.
And he
It's
still wears
it,
going
and it's
strong.
still
Yeah.
protective.
I love
and
it. This
I
is
love
one
it.
of my pieces too. This is the
Oh,
signature piece.
Okay, can we see that? Is it very visual?
Okay.
Okay.
There, I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's the signature piece of my whole collection is this necklace. This is what I think catapulted everything. So it's it your skin. And like I told you on the show before, what the stinger represents, with the queen bee and everything. It has energy. It's
But you
not.
know what's amazing too to me is that there's a lot of designers out there and a lot of jewelry, designers, and every single person is kind of gravitating when they get to see it. They're pulled in, and it's so different and so unique, but the energy is put in it when you design it that has power, and it kind of draws magnetically where people are drawn to that. And to get top A celebrities too, not knowing you, not meeting you, but very attracted to what you're making, it's a great compliment.
Thank you. Yeah, I just saw it. And sometimes I find out by accident, which is it's a good feeling, like the other day I was watching, Chelsea Handler, and then I saw Miley Cyrus just wearing my earrings on the talk show. So you get pleasantly surprised, and it's such a good feeling when that happens.
Yay.
Because you don't know, nobody's telling you. Like maybe they'll tell you the next day, but then like to see it in that moment is really cool. And then then that happened last week. I was just Googling, my company name to see what's coming up. And I saw, a spread in Cosmopolitan magazine. So,
it's an honor.
Yeah.
Please
it's
pull
fun.
this in because this doesn't happen.
Thank
It really
you.
doesn't.
I'm pulling it in.
Good job,
You've
Monica.
got
Thank
to
you.
pull this in
Thanks.
because God's really letting you see that He wanted you to do this, and
Yeah.
the energy and the positiveness in it and the symbology of it. I really feel it helps people because they're drawn to it. They're
Yeah.
drawn.
Well, now I got to make a new piece for what happened today with my mom, with the dog. I'm like so upset before I got here. But yeah, maybe I can create a piece of jewelry for losing a pet sadness. I don't know, to make you feel better.
I would, that would be hard to wear something, you know what I mean, and think of something like that would
I
pass
know.
away. So we have to think. You have to kind of create
No,
something
a heart
positive
or something
Right.
positive or like
with
something.
a bone with a heart, maybe
Yeah,
or something.
nothing, something that's going to be
I'm
like
sorry
for me.
that happened today.
Yeah, it was really
Sorry.
tough. It was.
We love our pets.
Yeah,
love our
I'm
pets.
obsessed. You know how much I love Charlie
Yeah,
when he got sick.
right.
And yeah, my mom is having a really hard week. So she lost her sister and then the dog, but that's a whole nother,
Right.
conversation. But
God bless you, Mom.
yeah.
We're here for you.
Yeah, Mom, sorry. That
We're here for
happened
you, honey
today.
bunny. Yeah. We're going to have to close pretty soon. Is there any questions you would like to ask Veronica?
Well, one of the things I'm just by paying attention and you being on the first show and all, it's just so nice that you can tell when you're headed in the right direction, the flow.
Amen.
And you've had this
Thank you.
incredible
Thank you for
flow.
mentioning that, Johnny. It's
You know what I mean?
important.
Thank you.
It's
And
like you just feel
It's
you're doing
God's
it right.
flow.
Right.
Yeah,
You're connected.
It is God's flow.
It's
I do,
God's flow.
honestly.
This does
You-
not happen.
Right, and you
Yeah.
get this
It's-
big connection, and you're running with it. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to having you back on the show, right? And find out all the good stuff from down the road, like
Yeah,
what's
well,
going
I'll
on.
definitely, I'm sure, I'll have hopefully much more to report next
But
time.
you know what? The
And-
people you mentioned, and in less than 6 months,
Yeah,
it's one
accelerated.
store, and they're all headed towards that store, and the stylists go in there, and every time they take it, they all want it.
Yeah, and it's good to have those relationships with the stylists because
Mhm.
they,
Oh, yeah.
and I think if they do something for me with my jewelry initially, I don't like to push anything on anybody. I'm very good at giving gifts, so they appreciate that, and then they want to use my jewelry again. So if any
That's a good
stylists-
marketing tool,
if any
everyone.
stylists are listening, I make gifts if you
That's-
do
yeah,
things for
that's
me.
That's a good marketing tool.
Yeah,
Like
so
that
I'm
one.
giving.
Are you designing? Do you have any other ideas? Do you think that you're going to be creating?
Yeah, I want to do some rings, like double hold rings, bigger. I want to kind of play with what I've been doing, but make it maybe a different version, maybe a more chunky, bigger, thicker, version of the stinger. Maybe do more silver, big pieces, you know,
Because
like
big pieces right now are really in.
yeah. So
You really
I'm
should.
definitely gonna play with it and
You
make
should do
it,
that.
you know, but you know, I'm only working in fine jewelry, so I'm torn. Do I start doing more costume jewelry and do big jewelry, or should I keep it, you know, where it's at, which is, you know, at the fine jewelry market? So,
I do
I'm
feel you're going to do both pretty soon, but the fine jewelry has really been working.
yeah.
I don't know if I'd
Thanks
change
to
that
God. No,
completely.
Thanks to God, yeah.
No, because I know if it gets heavier, it's going to be heavier, more expensive. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a tough one. Maybe costume with the real jewelry on it on the center or something. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely coming
Yeah.
up with new things. I'm gonna go back to the Middle East to create with my manufacturer. You know, I'm definitely gonna be, you know, I come up with new pieces every year. So I'm gonna be going back this summer and come back with some more cool pieces for everybody to see.
Yay!
We're looking forward to seeing your new line. Yeah.
Thanks,
I'm very-
Johnny.
I'm very-
I'm gonna make you a new necklace. too.
Okay.
Oh wow!
I'm happy.
Okay, I'm very proud of you. And
I love
again,
you so much.
I want everyone to know that like we had 2 amazing guests today, and it's about following your dreams, following your path, breathing, and being and doing. So I have very special guests next week. I really enjoyed being here, and God bless all of you. Thank you, Veronica, for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much. I love you, and
I love
Johnny.
you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Veronica,
Thank
coming on
you.
the show. We love you.
It's
And-
fashion this week. Be your best.
Okay.
They'll suppress you of your spirit and rinse you dry of smiles. So reach deep and release your inner child. Yeah, yeah. So stand up for the love, love, love. So stand up, yeah, for the love, love, love. So stand up, yeah, for the love, love, love. Yeah. 'Cause your soul got you really hard, and if you don't reach for the moon, you can't follow the stars. So I live my life like every day is the last, last, last. 'Cause your soul got you really hard, and if you don't reach for the moon, you can't follow the stars. So I live my life like every day is the last, last, last. Stand up if you let a frown become your normality. Yes. You don't set an example for the youth of our humanity. If you spend every day wishing for the next to come, aged and lifeless is what